See, I'm using really quite a bit of water, vodka, because I really want it to give that watery effect, even though it's going to be pretty dark. And if I end up pulling some color away because it's too, see here how I'm starting to get some white coming through because it's too wet, I'm going to go in with my gel colors and use a little more gel, a little less vodka to fill that area in, because we really don't want any white coming through. I don't mind the reds or the purples showing, but I don't want white. I want to keep it pretty dark. And this is going to take a bit of time to dry because you've used so much vodka in here. And so you want to do this tier first and give it probably overnight to dry, because it's going to be pretty sticky with all this liquid on it. So you want to kind of just let it dry. So it doesn't have a lot of variation to it, but it has enough to give it some depth. So there we have our middle tier. And so now we're going to put this away and let it dry, and we're going to go on to our other two tiers. All right, so we've watercolored our second tier. Now we're going to work on our top tier. Now basically I just covered this with black fondant, and I use this almost as an impression mold. Now if you look closely, what this is a piece of plastic from overhead office lighting. They come in big, huge sheets. Well, you can go to an office supply store, things like that, and they usually sell these sheets, and you can cut them into sections like this. This is about 5 inches tall, and it's got a really nice pattern to it. So you just roll your fondant out, put it over your cake, and then you lay this up against your cake and then just press it as you're rolling it all the way around. And you get this great kind of pinned texture to your cake. Ooh, a little tear there. You get pinned little texture to your cake, which gives it a really nice detail. Now, once we get that on there, we want to bring that detail out. So we're going to take some sheer Sheen, like a pearl dust airbrush color, and we're going to airbrush the whole thing, and that's going to bring this pattern out even more. So let's airbrush. Okay. There we go. So now you can see how much that texture is brought out by the airbrush color being added to it. So I say black cake. So what we've done is we airbrushed that nice sheen on it. Now we're going to go over it with a little bit of black sheen, because we went a little too white here. So we want to make sure we stay with the black themed wedding cake. So I'm going to mix up some black with some vodka, and we're going to come back and do just a light airbrushing over this. All right, so I've mixed up some black in my airbrush with a little bit of vodka. I left a little bit of the sheen in there because I don't mind if I get some black sheen, and I'm just going to do a real quick airbrushing on this. Turn on my airbrush, and it's just giving it a little bit more of a black. You can see I'm taking down the white shine a little bit, giving it a little bit more of that black shine. All right, there we go. Now we're going to do an overlay on this. So what I like to do with black on black is differentiate the different techniques on black by using texture or sheen. Let me turn this off. By using texture or matte versus sheen. So we're going to put an overlay on here. We've got the texture behind, we've got the shine. We're going to put an overlay on it that's going to be matte, and so that's going to give it another layer, another dimension.